All right, so thanks for joining us on Guardian Safe and Lock's YouTube channel. We're going to go ahead and talk about high security key duplication. So I've done a video previously on the different types of machines. So what we're going to go ahead and do is use one of those machines to duplicate a high security key for a vehicle. So there's regular high security keys for like homes and businesses and things like that, and then there's high security as in it's a sidewinder key, people call it sometimes. It's different. This one cuts like this. It's not to get confused with the high security random like Schlage Primus or Medico key or something like that cuts on a traditional machine like our other duplicators. So we're going to be talking about specifically the high security keys on a vehicle. Okay, so this right here is the Condor XC Mini. So if I just turn it on like that, it's an automated machine for the most part. You can tell we've used it quite a bit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a copy of this key, okay? So this is a high security key. Cuts like this, cuts the grooves in it, okay? So what I have to do in here is I'm gonna go here real quick to, all these are different, all machines are different, have different menus and different ways of doing it. So I'm just gonna click on key duplication real quick here, and then I'm gonna go to forward, because this is an automated machine, and then hit OK on forward, and then it asks the model, which is a transit. So transit, regular transit, and then it asks for the years, which, here we go, 10 cuts, confirm. And I'm going to basically, it tells me what jaw to use and everything and where to put it. You can look right here in the menu and see. And I'm just gonna place the key according to what it said, okay? So first thing first, before we duplicate it on this machine here, it's not like this manual one over here where I put down the key here and the new key here and I manually duplicate it, which you could do that, but I'm gonna use this automated machine. So all I gotta do is hit up here in the top, if you look here, it's gonna, as the grooves come in, it's gonna show the cuts that correspond with the grooves. And then it's gonna, the button right here, key to code. So I'm gonna hit key to code and then confirm. And then let's watch down here as it decodes it. X-Source kind of hit the market a few years back, and key's not in there right, so let me restop that. It's actually the first time it's ever happened. Okay. Loosen it back. Did I get the right jaw on this? Schlage A, M2A, yeah, everything's right. Oh, I know what I did wrong. Let me show you what I did wrong here. It tells you to put it to this line here. I put it to that line. And because of its fat neck right there, when I bit it on that too far, it just whoop, gave it no grip on the side. So I'm gonna back it out like I was supposed to. I'm about to say that never happened before, so I just put it to the wrong line. So now it's secure in there. Okay, so let's try that again. Decode. First thing it does is check all the positioning, make sure it's right on before it cuts, because it is automated. That's 2 cuts. 3. And 10. And there's all your cuts. All right, now if you look up here in the top, that's the cool thing about this machine is there's your pattern, and it even gives you the cuts, 3, 1, 2, 4, 5, and it gives you the rest of them. And then, okay, after you decode it that way, then all I have to do is take this key out, which I already have the blank sitting here. This has no remote on it, just for demo purposes, but we're gonna go ahead and show you how it works. Set it back up to that same line. And the reason why it doesn't matter if it's off a millimeter forward, behind the line, or front or back of that line, just a hair, is because it's gonna find out where the positioning is, and it'll let you know if you need to change it. But right now, I put it back to that line that it said. We're ready to go. And then all I do up here up top is just hit cut key. So. Now it's gonna find its positioning again. I mean, you could use this to cut originals. You could just type in the key code and it'll cut it. Put in what blank it is and all those kind of things. But this is how it's done. taking off the next layer, basically. Okay. All right, and then when that's done, you basically just take this out, loosen the jaw, get a little brush that off. Sometimes I'll take a little flat file to it or something like that and just rough off the edges. Actually, I'll run another blade here real quick. Back up. We just got brushes on these other machines, so I'll just use that. There it is. There you go. Just take the burrs off so it sits nice and smooth. Clean your area so that the cutter can the key can stay flat and the cutter has a clean spot to work. Put that with the line again, lock it down nice and flat, and then hit cut key again, because you got two sides on these. So if you wanted to do it manually and you had the key and you're just like, you didn't have power or whatever, then you can use, manually duplicator where you just set it in and you just make it outline where it went. You have to make many passes on things like that too, because you don't want to break the blades. So it's going to do the same thing here and just cut the other side. And some people refer to these as sidewinder keys or laser cut keys, things like that. They're not cut by lasers and they're not. Sidewinder is kind of an old term, but more and more vehicles are moving to high security keys. It's probably going to do that one pass. Yep. And this is just a forward key. It does all different types of brands and many brands we haven't even heard of it does. Because this is a machine from overseas. They've actually made the market more competitive, because used to, if you want to get a high security key cutting machine like this, you're talking about like $8,000, and that's just a lot of money to spend on a key cutting machine. Well, this one comes in at a price point around $3,000, and it can cut originals and duplicate, and does just about everything. So this is a fantastic investment in it. So I would definitely invest in one of these if you don't have one, especially if you have a lock shop. So there it is, cut key, both sides, ready to roll. So that's how you duplicate or cut a high security key. Is for vehicles particularly. So people, like I said, refer to them as laser cut keys, sidewinder keys, things like that. What they mean by that is one of these type of keys. It's not cut with a laser. There is a company, I think something that has in their name laser products or something like that, but maybe that's where they got it from, I don't know. But that has always been a popular term, is laser cut key or sidewinder key. So they're just really a high security key for a vehicle. So anyway, hopefully that gives you a little insight and you know how those keys work now and how we duplicate them or make copies of them. We appreciate you tuning in again to Guardian Safe and Lock's YouTube channel. Please hit the subscription button and the bell icon for notifications. And don't forget, you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook. We're on all the social media platforms. And also check out our other two YouTube channels, Udropreneur, UDROPRENEUR, or Guardian Approved, which we just started. We only have one video up, soon to be two. Thanks for tuning in.